In a world where most people live for a night out, why do some choose to be alone? The answer? Their nervous system is calling the shots. An overactive nervous system can send someone into deep isolation before they even realize. This is why the empath, the overthinker, and the person who feels everything can suddenly disappear without warning. Picture someone like Maya. On the outside, she's warm, caring, and easy to talk to. Then disappears the second she gets home. One moment, she's helping everyone feel okay. The next moment, she ignores her phone, sits in silence, and feels like even one more conversation might break her. But here's the question most people miss. Is it healthy solitude that gives a person their energy back, or nervous system isolation makes them afraid to spend that energy again? By the end, the difference will be clear. Maya is the kind of person people trust quickly. At work, she notices when someone's upset before they say a word. She catches the small things: a change in tone, a fake smile, a quiet pause, a tense room. Friends call her so understanding. Family calls her the good listener. Coworkers say, you always know what to say. But what no one sees is what happens after. Maya gets home, shuts the door, and feels her whole body drop. No music, no texts, no talking, just silence. To other people, this might look cold, but inside Maya's body, it feels like recovery. Her brain has been tracking too much. Her body has been absorbing too much. Her nervous system has been trying to keep everyone else comfortable. And that is where solitude begins. Not as a personality trait, as a repair process. But why can a caring person feel so exhausted by people she actually loves? Because empathy is not just a thought. It is also a body experience. When Maya walks into a room, she doesn't just hear words. She reads faces. She notices who is quieter than usual. She senses when someone is annoyed, sad, or pretending to be fine. This can be a gift. It helps her comfort people. It helps her sense tension. It helps her connect deeply. But it also has a cost. Her brain treats social situations like a constant stream of information. Every face is a signal. Every silence has meaning. Every text message can become a puzzle. So by the time Maya leaves a normal conversation, her body may feel like it just finished a test. This is why solitude can feel so good. It removes the signals. No one to read, no one to please, no one to calm down, no one to disappoint. For a regulated person, alone time is like charging a phone. For Maya, alone time can feel like finally taking off a heavy backpack she forgot she was wearing. But this is where the twist starts. The same solitude that heals Maya can also hide a deeper wound. Think about this. What if Maya's love for being alone didn't start as a preference, but as protection? When Maya was younger, she learned a quiet lesson. Her feelings were too much. When she cried, someone said, "Stop being dramatic." When she was scared, someone said, "You're fine." When she was excited, no one really listened. And when she needed comfort, the room often became colder instead of warmer. This is often how emotional neglect works. It is not always about what happened. Sometimes it is about what never happened. No one asked Maya, "What are you feeling?" No one taught her big emotions are safe. No one showed her you can need comfort and still be loved. So Maya adapted. She stopped reaching out. She became low maintenance. She learned to read the room before speaking. She handled feelings alone because needing people felt risky. Years later, Maya tells herself, "I just like being by myself." And sometimes that is true. But sometimes the deeper truth is being alone is the only place my body feels safe. This matters because childhood conditioning can make isolation feel normal, even when it is painful. Maya may avoid asking for support, not because she doesn't need it, but because her body accepts rejection. She may cancel plans, not because she dislikes people, but because connection feels like pressure. She may feel lonely and relieved at the same time. That is the sign of a nervous system conflict. One part of Maya wants connection. Another part says connection has not always been safe. Now you may ask, how can Maya know whether she is resting or shutting down? Her body gives clues. When Maya's solitude is healthy, she feels more like herself afterward. Her thoughts slow down. Her breathing feels easier. She returns with more patience, more clarity, and more choice. But when isolation is a nervous system response, it feels different. Maya avoids everyone, but she does not feel restored. She scrolls for hours and still feels drained. She ignores messages and feels guilty the whole time. She tells herself, "I'm just tired," but underneath is dread, numbness, or fear. This is not laziness. This can be a freeze response. When stress feels too big, the body doesn't always fight or run. Sometimes it shuts down. It gets quiet. It disappears. It saves energy by doing less. For Maya, this can look like emotional vanishing. She stops explaining. She stops updating. She stops reaching out. Not because she does not care, but because her system has crossed its limit. This is why telling Maya, "just go out more," doesn't work. A dysregulated nervous system doesn't need shame. It needs safety. Here's the rule that changes everything. Solitude has a purpose. Isolation has a fear. When Maya is practicing productive solitude, her inner voice sounds like, "I need time to rest, then I can return." When Maya is stuck in protective isolation, her inner voice sounds like, "If I return, I might be overwhelmed again." Productive solitude creates energy. Protective isolation creates distance. Productive solitude has an ending. Protective isolation keeps moving the ending further away. For example, Maya takes Sunday alone. She cleans her room, cooks something simple, takes a walk, breathes, and feels ready for Monday. That is solitude. But another time, Maya avoids every text for 3 weeks. She misses her friends, feels ashamed, and wants to respond. But every message feels like a demand. That is not just alone time. That may be her nervous system stuck in avoidance. And this is the mistake Maya keeps making. She thinks the goal is to protect her peace by removing people. But real regulation is not removing every trigger. It is building the ability to return to connection without losing herself. So what should Maya do when people feel like too much? How can Maya regulate these feelings so she doesn't start to isolate? First, Maya names the state. Not, "I am broken." Not, "I hate everyone." Not, "I'm a bad friend." She tries, "My system is overloaded." That one sentence lowers shame. It turns the problem from an identity into a body signal. Second, Maya uses the 90-second reset. She sits still, drops her shoulders, breathes in through her nose for 4 counts, then exhales slowly for 6 counts. She does this 5 times. The long exhale matters because it tells her body, there is no emergency right now. Third, Maya does a sensory unload. She turns off bright lights, lowers noise, puts her phone face down, lets her brain stop taking in new signals. For someone like Maya, silence is not empty. Silence is medicine. Fourth, Maya separates her feelings from everyone else's. She says, "This feeling is present, but it may not all be mine." This matters because Maya can absorb the mood of a room and then wonder why she feels heavy. Fifth, Maya creates a return ritual. This is the step most people skip. After solitude, Maya sends one small signal of connection. One text, one voice note, one short walk outside, one honest sentence. "I needed quiet time, but I'm here." This teaches Maya's nervous system that rest does not have to become disappearance. The real goal is not for Maya to become more social. The real goal is for Maya to become more free. Free to rest without guilt. Free to connect without losing energy. Free to say no without vanishing. Free to be sensitive without being ruled by every emotion in the room. Because Maya does need solitude, but not as a prison, as a place to come home to herself before coming back to the world.